I'm channeling my inner kindergarten teacher with this outfit today. I don't know. Thoughts, opinions? I'm a big fan. That's all beside the point. That has nothing to do with this video. Snoop Dogg has a cookbook. And a wine, I guess. Selena Gomez has a makeup line. Hailey Bieber has a makeup line. Ariana Grande has a makeup line. Halsey has a poetry book. Lana Del Rey has a poetry book. Marina also has a poetry book. Clearly, celebrities sell. There's nothing wrong with that. We've known that for years. Why else would Cardboard Shack be in every Staples in the United States? Celebrities have been used as marketing tools for decades, though you could honestly argue that, yes, while they are probably making absurd amounts of money doing what they love, they are kind of the pinnacle of exploitation. I'm thinking about artists like Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, Amy Winehouse, really anybody that's become famous for their art and have had parts of themselves or their likeness shilled out to the public as a result. This is not to say that every celebrity brand is a form of exploitation. I'm sure many of the celebrities I've listed wanted to put out a poetry book or a makeup line or a line of cheap wines. It's just a happy coincidence that they have the resources to be able to do that kind of thing. Notably though, there is a massive appeal to celebrity brands for multiple reasons. I mean, of course they're capitalizing off of your parasocial relationship with the celebrity, your wish to be closer to that singer, actor, keyboardist, whatever. And products like celebrity memoirs are hits because the people behind them are intriguing, oftentimes talented, and rife with different perspectives and experiences that their audiences will never themselves get to be a part of. It's pretty cool. So what happens when you remove the talent, the passion, and the interesting person behind it all? What happens when you prioritize visual aesthetic and selling over genuine quality? This is where you get influencer brands. Where I get lost in the wave of influencer marketing is when they don't have anything appealing to market. When the thing they're selling is nothing substantial to the point where it feels like you're being sold the idea of buying something rather than the actual product itself. Influencers, or people who are famous for their internet/social media presence and not much else, are almost like celebrities in that they are constantly used to sell. Their reach may not be as large, and they may not be overtly talented in traditional ways or especially interesting, but they have an audience and usually an aesthetic, so they can still sell well. It doesn't matter what the product is. You could get an influencer to sell anything if you throw them the right amount of money. Not every influencer, of course. I mean, people generally have a conscience, but there will always be someone lined up to sell a KKK hood if you pay them $5 to do it. And honestly, it's impressive just how much product is moved via online spaces within the scope of influencer marketing alone. Hell, there's a different family vlog or cookbook every goddamn month. What does this newborn baby know about cooking? In an age where there's already plenty of products to make any and every aspect of your life more convenient, what more could we possibly sell? Look to TikTok or Instagram and you'll realize there's always another revolutionary foundation, another life-changing romantasy novel, another diet tea or muscle-supporting supplement that will finally fix you. And when there's nothing left to sell, you sell the promise of eradicating an insecurity. And when that doesn't work, well, who are we kidding? That'll always work. It's frustrating to see on TikTok a different skin smoothing primer every week, another pore eradicating mud mask, or life-changing lip plumper that just gives you an allergic reaction. In reality, these influencer-based or influencer-partnered brands have nothing new to offer us. None of it is life-changing, and in my opinion, much of it should not exist and does so only to bring in money. Shocker. Why do I mention this? Well, it's no surprise that TikTok star try being an influencer for a day. Michaela Nogueira has released her own beauty brand. Michaela has been the focus of a lot of controversy surrounding the general ethics of influencer marketing since she's been known to fraudulently portray sponsorships in a certain way and edit the hell out of her photos.
This is one coat. Okay, I'm gonna add a second. Look at the length. Do you see that?
This is a controversy because it goes back to laws and regulations under influencer advertising. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Michaela and her reviews, and I'm sure the L'Oreal mascara is great, but the issue is it looks like Michaela put on false eyelashes to exaggerate the mascara's effect.
Michaela is at the center of yet another controversy, and it appears we're getting Lashgate 2.0. So in a recent video, she was supposed to be testing and promoting Essence's new mascara, but when she cut to showcase how well the mascara works, people noticed that she was literally holding Maybelline's mascara in her hand in the clip. And the comments went wild. People started calling her out right away, saying things like, "Girl, you got some explaining to do, caught pink-handed, and Lashgate Pat 2. Someone even said, "Just saw the one switch up at the end, they all end up lying, like why?" And Michaela finally responded back saying, "LMFAO, I had that open because I use it for my bottom lashes, and my dumbass picked up the wrong one in the clip." To which someone said that her bottom lashes don't even have anything on them, so clearly she's not telling the truth. After all this backlash, she's since taken down the video and posted this to her Instagram group, which you can pause to read, but honestly, I'm just not buying it. Part of me feels like she's been in the game long enough where she knows what she's doing, and she loves the attention that these controversies bring her. What do you guys think?
Keep this context in mind. So unless you're a company coming into the skincare and makeup market with something actually revolutionary, your product is going to be ultimately negligible. I mean, that's why we have so many TikTok ads claiming that a new product on the market is viral and life-changing, because it never is, and they need something to be appealing about it. See my last video. The market for cosmetics has been flooded over the past couple of years, especially with celebrity and influencer brands. And I think part of that is because brands are too afraid to branch out and create interesting new products. It's far less of a risk to put a famous hot person's face on your ads and call it there. I think that Michaela knew this. Her product, Point of View, would have to be different since people already didn't trust her. Point of View is marketed as a skin prep brand and not a skincare brand. Very different. I'm gonna cut the shit right now and tell you that they are the exact same thing. She's selling primers and moisturizers. It's just another insincere marketing tactic. But this had me thinking, what other industries do I see influencers branching out into and taking a dump all over? The publishing industry! It's no surprise that influencers have an easier time getting deals with publishers and putting out written content. All it takes is a couple of out-of-touch publishers to assume that when publishing the work of someone with an online presence, they're guaranteed to earn back much of what they spent putting the book out into the world, thanks to the influencer's pre-existing audience. This is not always true though. And again, I cannot stress enough that the quality of the content is negligible. It's unimportant. The important part to the publisher is that it sells, which I guess isn't super surprising, but it is annoying to have a publisher ask you about your social media metrics before reading your works, and having that impact their decision on whether or not they sign you. This is where we get into dangerous gatekeepy territory. On this topic, journalist Sarah Manavis accurately states, the publishing industry may have always relied less on intellectually substantial or interesting commercial novels to make money. The phenomenon of publishers buying poor quality books they can sell with the right marketing is nothing new. But this obsession with influencer publishing will lead to even quicker, cheaper books bought up based on inconsistent social media metrics. All of this is before considering the damage that may be wrought by publishing by AI. That's a whole other issue that I do not have enough energy to cover in this video. It is a canary in the coal mine for the direction this industry is headed, where quality is slowly dropping down the list of reasons to put something on the shelves. This, of course, reminded me of the Insta poet, Rupi Kaur.
Don't mistake salt for sugar. If he wants to be with you, he will. It's that simple.
Now, it's definitely on trend to shit on Rupi Kaur's work. It's short, it's trite, it insists upon itself.
Lois. What?
But credit where credit is due. Kaur's most popular poetry book, Milk and Honey, was initially self-published. Importantly though, the success of that book landed her a spot with a traditional publisher, despite the somewhat lackluster content. Look, I love that Milk and Honey got people into poetry, but I have to admit, its success online inspired waves of what I would call copycat poets. Sure, their work is original to them, but if you put a Rupi Kaur poem and a random Instapages poem next to each other, I might honestly assume that they were written by the same person. There's no intriguing voice here, no interesting or intentional line breaks, no imagery, it's just lacking. With another Insta poet, Courtney Peppernell, silly name by the way, I love it, she wrote a lot of content with a similar style to Kaur's books, self-published, and is now signed with a traditional publisher. I'm honestly happy for these women, but I am a little bothered by the lazy poaching that happens with traditional publishers and poetry influencers. They see that someone has a ton of followers and they're like, well, must be a good enough book for me to put on the shelves. I think it just bothers me that these publishers might not have given these women and their works the time of day if not for their social media numbers. The same goes for the more commonly hated influencer, Gabby Hanna, and her ultimately disappointing poetry collections.
She's really trending.
There's a page of just a K.
I don't care about this. You're not serious.
But I guess that's just business. Personally, I'm interested to see what other aspects of my life social media influencers are going to invade. Creation and consumption are such massive parts of social media. Honestly, they are social media. So naturally, influencers are going to have that hunger, that appetite to branch out and capitalize off of something new every year at least. I really want to emphasize to you that the original job of an influencer is to sell you something. If it's able to be bought, an influencer will sell it. They have an appetite for anything that will make them money, no matter the industry. Sometimes they'll have a genuine passion for it, and other times, definitely not. They eat their way into music. They eat their way into fashion. They eat their way into makeup and skincare. They eat their way into publishing. They eat their way into food production and recipes, alcohol, coffee, tea. If it exists, an influencer will try to sell it to you, but you don't have to buy it. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Spend responsibly, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Try being an influencer for a day.